Two B's, it's Psychic Bob. Well, it is so good to be with you. Well, welcome to Wednesday. It's Wiccan Wednesday. And if you didn't see yesterday's video, we had messages from the spirit world. You want to check that out? That's in the queue right before this video. If you're new here, every Tuesday we do what's called Messages from the Spirit World, and I do mini psychic readings for people who write into the show. So definitely, if you haven't seen that, check it out. As I said, it's in the video queue right before this video. Well, guys, I tell you, Wiccan Wednesday is always a wonderful day for me because I really devote Wednesday to prayer, meditation, doing Wiccan things. That's why I call it Wiccan Wednesday. I set my altars, I clean my altars, I organize my Wiccan books, and I do reading and meditation on Wiccan things. And today I was sitting here looking at, this is one of my favorite books. It's Cunningham's Book of Shadows. And it's a complete book of shadows by Scott Cunningham. It's really wonderful. This was published after his death. And it has a lot of stuff you don't see in his other books. So I really recommend that you check this out. It's a wonderful, wonderful book. And he has in the beginning of this, in this Book of Shadows, he has kind of like advice to the reader and philosophy about the craft. And he has this writing in here, which I was reading today. I think it's really wonderful. It's called Before Time Was. And I thought I'd read that to you today. We're going to talk a little bit about that, okay? In this, he talks about the primal force, that which is the most ancient in Wiccan thought. And many of the old Wiccans called the primal mover, the primal force, Drayton. And that's spelled D-R-Y-G-H-T-Y-N. I'll put it up here. Drayton. And I want you guys to listen to this. Just meditate on the concept of Drayton. Before time was. But before time was, there was Drayton. Drayton was all, and all was Drayton. And the vast expanse known as the universe was Drayton, all-knowing, all-pervading, all-powerful, changeless, eternal. And space moved. Drayton molded energy into twin forms, and so the gods were fashioned from Drayton. The god and goddess stretched forth and gave thanks to Drayton, but darkness surrounded them. They were alone, solitary, save for Drayton. And so they formed energy into gases, and gases into planets, and suns and moons. They sprinkled the universe with whirling globes, and so the universe was given shape by the hands of the god and goddess. Light arose, and the sky was illuminated by billions of suns, and the god and goddess, satisfied by their works, rejoiced and loved and were one. From their union there sprang the seeds of all life and of the human race, so that we might achieve incarnation upon the earth. The goddess chose the moon as her living symbol, and the god the sun as his living symbol, to remind the inhabitants of earth of their fashioners. All are born, live and die beneath the sun and moon, and all things come to pass thereunder, as has been the way of existence before time was. Isn't that amazing? That's in this book by Scott Cunningham, The Book of Shadows. I really recommend this. You know, I really like this because, you know, so many Wiccan books today are just like, I call them spell books. You know, they're formula books. It's like, you know, take this herb, take this candle, take this gem, do this, and wow, you got power. You see, Wicca really at its core is not just magic. Magic is actually secondary. The true practice of the craft is found in its philosophy, in its wisdom. Before you ever cast a spell, you do better to meditate on the mystery of the god and the goddess and Drayton. Drayton is mysterious. You know, I was thinking, you know, on Sundays, we're now having Shinto Sunday. And the Shinto creation myths have kind of a similar experience where a god and a goddess comes out of the formless one, the Tao. And Taoism, Shinto have a similar concept of there is the one. And this is a kind of a monistic principle. Monistic means a unity of one. In the spiritualist church, we used to call God infinite intelligence. We didn't define it in terms of a person, but more of a force of consciousness. And I think that when we look at Drayton here, as it's explained in this text, I think we're talking about very similar things. So if you want to know more about the craft, more about Wicca, consider also exploring the concept of Drayton, that there is the unknowable mover. Or maybe it's not unknowable, it's just been unknown up till now. But there's an energy, a consciousness, a reality from which all the gods come and which all life comes from. So ultimately, we all return back to the Lord and the Lady, yet ultimately we return back to Drayton. So from Drayton all comes forth, and in the end, to Drayton all things return. This philosophy, I think, is very mystical, very profound. It certainly helps my life because when I consider the concept of Drayton, I realize that there really are no enemies. There's no reason to not be friends with people. We're all part of the same cosmic reality. So we are all one. We are all partakers of divinity. So you carry within yourself the very essence of Drayton, of divinity, as do I. So when we go down the road and we see our neighbor, we should stop and say, Drayton is before me, the powerful, the uncreated, the one from which all life comes. All of us are part of it. And if we could live in that thought every day, if we could live in that thought every day, how might that change our world? This is why I think the craft is so needed in this world. And I'm not trying to proselytize, say everybody has to be Wiccan. But I think for those of us who practice this faith, we need to keep in mind these mysteries. Because we as the Wicca are the wise. We are the way showers. And we carry the truth to many times to a world who has forgotten truth. I think many of us can look at the world today and see that materialism and atheism is rampant, that people are questing for power and money and yet have no happiness. and all that they grasp for eventually fades, decays, and disappears. When everything that you have in the material world is gone, what do you have left? You see, this is where the teaching of Drayton could be so powerful. If we know that at our core all things are Drayton, then we never have to fear really losing anything, because in the end, we come back to our original source that brings us all the blessings of life. And if we stay connected to that higher source, then we have peace and tranquility. And most of all, we have wisdom. For the Wicca are called to be wise. So anyways, I just want to share those thoughts with you today. I'm going to keep it short. Psychic Bob's been very busy. I'm playing catch up here on readings. But I want to say thank you to all of you for being part of my channel. And listen, if you get a chance, definitely check out Cunningham's Book of Shadows. It's published by Llewellyn Publications. Publishing Llewellyn. It's www.llewellyn.com. That's where you can get it. Or you might also be able to get Lady Angela's site at rarewiccaspells.com. Check over there too. But I recommend this. And so I'm going to leave those thoughts with you today. I want you to meditate on Drayton, the cosmic consciousness, the light of all reality. Even the god and the goddess return to Drayton. Beautiful thoughts. Well, listen, I hope wherever you are, you're having a beautiful day today. I want to say thank you for being here. Thanks for being part of my channel. If you want to show Psychic Bob some love today, make sure to like this video, favorite it, share it with your friends. And if you can, hit subscribe. Be part of our channel. We'd love you to be here. Well, guys, listen, I'll see you back here tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, so send me your astrology questions. And we're going to draw a letter tomorrow and answer an astrology question for you guys. You guys are the best. I love you. Send you my blessings. We'll see you back here soon. And until then, may you always blessed be.